Hi, everybody, and welcome to the XYZ of Betting. I'm Kevin Ferguson. I've got Shakes Rampedi with me from Johannesburg and Oliver Keohane, the money boy. Guys, I caught up with you with one win last week, a 5 out of 10. You guys got 4 out of 10, so I'm making a strong comeback, it seems.
Yeah, better come back than Everton.
Well, we've only got a handful of games this weekend. There's one meme I want us to put up there now, and it depicts Pep being followed by Jurgen Klopp. It's very funny, very clever, and let's have a little chat about that before we get into the week's predictions. What a comeback by Liverpool! Eh? I mean, they can't do anything wrong, and against Arsenal to hold serve like they did.
Look, Arsenal played very, very well, for those first 50 minutes. I think arguably that first half, Arsenal played better than Liverpool. It looked like Liverpool were just kind of, just holding them there. But I think what they've come to show is that it just sort of takes moments in that team. And with the defensive structure that they've got now, with Matip playing so well, Van Dijk back for the whole season, is they've got that security that they can hold out for like 40, 50 minutes and then know that they can send it up and get it.
Well, I think the thing with Van Dijk as well that should be noted is that he's improving in his fitness. He's improving because he was a long time out of the game with that injury. It's not an injury you just plug back into a team and you have the same levels of speed and fitness. So he's now had the better part of a season to acclimatize and get up to speed, and you can see the difference. I think the first 15 games with Van Dijk and the last 15 games, just a continual improvement, I think, from my money.
Shakes, you obviously watched the game last night.
Yeah, I did. I watched the game, and strangely enough, I'm actually proud of the way that Arsenal performed. I thought they performed really well. And I think for me, I think what kind of showed within last night's game was the fact that Arsenal had their chance. Odegaard didn't take that chance, right? So when, like I said, obviously goes on to the interception, doesn't take the chance. And the moment Liverpool get their first opening, you would say, where they get a runner in behind the defense, Jota hits a strike. Of course, Ramsdale should have done a lot better, but they took their chance. And you watch that game and you just think it's experience. Liverpool have that experience of being in those moments countless of times. And Arsenal's still a very young squad. They're still levels behind Liverpool. And it showed yesterday's game that Liverpool didn't necessarily perform that amazing, but they walk away with the 3 points. And that's credit to them.
Yeah, and what a big 3 points it was, because it now puts them 1 point behind Man City. Man City, it's hard to say that Man City are out of form, but compared to Liverpool, there's no better team in the world right now that's performing better than them. And you can't help but notice as well that the goal difference goes to Liverpool. So, it's tighter than just 1 point in essence, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
They tie at the end of the year, and right now Liverpool would win the Premier League. So it's Man City that has to beat Liverpool by a point this year, not the. So it's incredibly exciting if you're a Liverpool fan and Man City fan, and just a fan of the Premier League in general. It'll be and of course I think next week is the big Man City Liverpool game where Liverpool have to go to Etihad Stadium, and I'm sure they'd be happy with a draw, but they prefer for the 3 points. It'll be a classic match to watch, and I'm really looking forward to that, as I'm sure you are, Shakes and Ollie. Let's get into it then. We've got a game tonight. We've got Everton versus who do they play?
Everton are playing Newcastle.
Everton versus Newcastle. Let's make a prediction on that.
I don't think Everton should be favourites.
With the run of form that Newcastle, I know they lost last week.
16 points in the last 7 games, I think, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Can't really say the same for Everton.
No, I mean, look, when you 16 points in 7 games, that's about an 79 point something win record, almost 80%. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, look, I back Newcastle to go to Everton and win. I've really liked, how they've sort of climbed. under Eddie Howe. And Everton, look, battling relegation here. I mean, people have said before, like, you don't know what a team can do, a team facing relegation, what they can pull out the bag. But I mean, yeah, just based on form, I think Newcastle to go there, get a scrappy 1-0 win.
Yeah, look, they've both got injuries, you know. Mina, Kenny, Delph, Davies out for Everton. You've got Hayden Lewis, Trippier, Wilson out for Newcastle. Calvert-Lewin is questionable, and Shelvey is questionable along with Joelinton for Newcastle. So there's a lot of missing players in this piece of football. Not easy to call. I got a feeling that a 1-1 draw in this game. That Everton will score, Newcastle score. But if I had to pick a winner out of them, I'd say Newcastle.
Yeah.
But Newcastle in a hell of a streak right now, and tough to bet against them to lose this game. What do you think, Shakes?
Yeah. With my opinion with regards to this game, I think Everton are in trouble. I really do. There's something about them, they're not capable of fighting. And even with Newcastle, the fact that when they lost to Chelsea, when you watch that game, they lost to Chelsea, at least they were able to put in a fight and argue, you'd say that they should have gotten a penalty before Havertz scored his goal. So Everton are not capable of fighting. And the thing I don't like about Everton the most is Frank Lampard's already speaking like, there's no magic wand, it's going to take time. There's almost like that defeatist talk that he's already having.
Well, he'll end up where he should have ended up in the Championship, doing his apprenticeship.
If I was an Everton fan and he was the manager speaking like that, I don't know if I would feel all the confidence to say this guy's going to save us.
You know, there's just sometimes, Shakes, there's people that just don't get the gravity of the situation. When you talk about time with 8 games to go, you're talking out your ass.
Yeah.
You know, and some people when they hit rock bottom, they tend to take out a pickaxe and try and go deeper. And I'm afraid he's one of those guys.
And when Bielsa's coaching Everton back up from the Championship.
Bielsa. I like Bielsa.
I go Oliver and I say 1-0 to Newcastle. I think Newcastle wins.
I think that they, you know, for me, the wrong message is when you look at what I would be saying if I was manager of that team. I'd be talking about our games in hand. I'd be talking about, you know, the quality in the team. You're right. You know, his press conferences are putting up the white flag. You know. And it's a bit sad to see if I was an Evertonian fan, because, you know, as Leeds has shown for many years when we were in the championship, it's not easy to get out of the Championship and back into the Premier League. So I mean, the cost to a team going down to that division can be insurmountable sometimes. So I've got a draw. You guys have both picked a Newcastle victory.
Yeah. Speaking of Leeds, they're travelling to.
Look, I was delighted with them picking up the victory against Norwich. That was an absolute must-have game for us. I don't expect anything going to Wolves. I think we've got to target our home games and do the best that we can there to I think if we get 9 more points this year, we'll be safe. So I think Wolves win this 2-0 over Leeds.
Yeah, I like it 2-0 as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Leeds, the one thing sure is that at least what they're doing differently now is they're not necessarily conceding the same amount of goals as Bielsa was. They're not as open as well, but still, teams can get at them for sure. And I think Wolves is going to be really tough. I think I'm with you guys on that one. I think we all agree 2-0 win Wolves, and that's done.
Yeah, and you know, I like the bet for me would be, if I was to give if you want some betting advice this week, is take the 2.10, take the 2.18 that's on offer at Betway for a Wolves win. You know, Leeds will put up some resistance, but they're just not the team you bet on the road, you know. And Wolves being 2.18, they had been in a great run of form. I think they've fallen off a little bit lately, but that will continue against Leeds. They will win that game tomorrow night.
Then Villa Arsenal, probably the game of the weekend.
Yeah, I think great game that's coming over the weekend. I think obviously Steven Gerrard's men have been able to find a bit of form in a while. I mean, they did go on a run where you were sort of questioning in terms of where the team was at. I know that they lost their last game, but I know they will give Arsenal a bit of a go. Arsenal, on the other hand, I think you watch their performance against Liverpool. You can just tell that you would argue to say they're probably the best fourth team in the league at this moment. And the fact that they're still fourth just states to that. And I think it'll be a tough game, but I somehow have a feeling that Arsenal are going to pull this one through. I think Arsenal win this one 2-1.
Yeah, look, I think if you look how Arsenal played against Liverpool, they played some really good football, but Liverpool's a really good club, and to take nothing away from what Steven Gerrard's doing at Aston Villa and like the quality of play they have there, they're not of the same level of quality as Liverpool. So I think if Arsenal play similarly to Aston Villa, those chances that didn't come off against a better defense just may come off against, a Villa defense. And I can see this being a 2-1 as well to Arsenal.
Well, as my dad said, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, and that's a big if. I like Aston Villa in this game to get a draw against Arsenal. 3 out of the 5 times that they've played, last 5 times, Aston Villa have won. Arsenal are trending in the right direction. I get that, and I see all the positive signs there. But I like Aston Villa at home to get a draw against an Arsenal side that is talented and young, but is young as you spoke about, Shakes. I just think that if I had to bet on the game and bet on a winner, I'd pick Aston Villa, so I'm going to take the draw in this game. And see, and I'm going to take a 2-2 draw. I think it'll be a highly entertaining game and full of swings and roundabouts. So for me, 2-2. Where does that take us?
Leicester Brentford next. Oh, how inspiring. Brentford obviously won their last 2 games. Leicester pretty up and down form over their last 5. Leicester have had a pretty woeful season. People still sort of asking how Brendan Rodgers is in a job there. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think when it comes to a clash like this, you ought to back the sort of history of Leicester and the fact that they're at home. I think I don't. I'm going to take them. They're favoured on Betway. 2.14 at home. Brentford's 3.4 to go their away. I don't think it's worth looking too much into. I think Leicester sort of, win this one 2-1.
Shakes?
Yeah, no, I think me and Oliver are agreeing a lot today with regards to these results. I definitely agree. I think Brentford, when you put them up against sides that are in and around them, I think that's when you will probably see a game that's 50-50 and they'll be able to compete. But with quality that is just slightly higher above than them, I think they're going to come up short. And I know Eriksen has come in and he's already providing assists. It's great to see him on the pitch again, and he also recently got called up for the Danish national team for their game. So that's beautiful news to hear on his end. But I will say that not only Christian Eriksen can probably pull them through. I think Leicester wins this one as well, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm fully in agreement. Brentford, I'm not getting fooled by the last 2 wins against Burnley and Norwich. Those teams are what they are. They're not Premier League teams for all intents and purposes. Leicester have won 4 of the last 5 games. Seem to be heading in the right direction. Losing to Arsenal away is not a disgrace. But I think Leicester at home beats Brentford 2-0.
Then we got the last one, Spurs West Ham, 6th and 7th. Spurs with a game in hand, same number of points. Spurs hosting them. They're heavily favoured, and I can understand why they're favoured, but maybe not to the extent they are. West Ham, you get 4.50. I'm sure if there's some injuries that I don't know about in the West Ham camp or something, but what do you guys think?
I honestly agree with you, Oliver. I don't think it's as close as that. I really don't think it's as close as that. And I think obviously West Ham winning their last game was very crucial for them. And Spurs, I don't know if you guys have realized, when you look at Spurs' form in all competitions and probably the last 7 games or something, it's win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
Yeah.
And it's that's been their form. And I honestly do think that I get this feeling that Spurs don't lose, but they don't walk away with 3 points. And I think it's going to end 1-1 this game, I think.
Okay. Shakes, it looks like we're in agreement again. 2-2 for me.
I'm surprised by the 1.73 on offer from Betway. It's a bit too low for me. West Ham, maybe I'm putting too much into their past, their good start to the season. But I still back Tottenham, and I'll tell you why. Harry Kane starting to make his mark, starting to play a little bit with the Harry Kane flair, if you could call it that. But he's a prolific striker, and I think he plays well on Sunday, and that Tottenham take this 2-1 or 3-1.
Cool. Well, that's our games for the weekend. We'll sort of be chatting again before the 2nd of April. It has a full weekend of footy then.
Indeed. Guys, thanks very much, and make every bet a winning bet.
Thanks, Kev.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Shakes.
Always a pleasure, guys. See you then.
Enjoy the weekend. Cheers, man.
Cheers, Shakes.
Have a good one.
Yeah.